Now we'll shift our focus to Pakistan. It's been a tough week for Islamabad. First, a bill to sanction Pakistan was introduced in the US Senate. As a result, Pakistani markets went into a meltdown. The stocks tanked. The currency hit a record low. Then Pakistan's Supreme Court pulled up the government. It reprimanded Islamabad over the state of minorities in the country. Have these back-to-back setbacks made Pakistan mend its ways? Our next report has some answers.
It's a tough time for Pakistan. The country's stocks are tanking. Its currency has weakened to a record low. The judiciary is cornering the government, and extremists are exposing Islamabad further. It all started with the fall of Kabul. Pakistan's role in the Taliban's takeover led to an international outcry. Calls to sanction the country picked pace. They dented Islamabad's already battered image. Now a group of 22 Republican lawmakers has moved a bill in the US Senate. It seeks to impose sanctions on the Taliban that could also potentially extend to Pakistan. The bill categorically demands an assessment of Pakistan's support to the Taliban throughout the 20 years of America's war on terror. It also seeks an investigation into Pakistan's recent activities, like its role in the Taliban's takeover of Kabul and the offensive in Panjshir. Back in Islamabad, the bill was met with rebuke. Pakistan's Human Rights Minister went on a social media rampage. Enough is enough, said Shireen Mazari. The news sent Pakistani markets into meltdown. The KSE 100, the benchmark index of the Pakistani Stock Exchange, plunged to its lowest point since March 2020. Pakistan's currency also hit a record low. It weakened 0.3% to close at 170.27 rupees per dollar. Analysts say the proposed US bill drove the fall. Investors are nervous about American sanctions. But the Pakistani government is doing nothing to reassure them. It continues to let extremists hold rallies like these. This is a pro-Taliban demonstration in Pakistan. In attendance are members of the Jamiat Ulema-e-Islam Nazariati. On Thursday, more than 600 of them gathered in Quetta. They waved the Taliban's flags, sang praises of their victory, and issued warnings to the West.
The arrogance with which the United States came to Afghanistan in 2001 had destroyed the Islamic Emirate and was committing genocide against Muslims. Allah Almighty shamed them.
These visuals are in stark contrast to what Imran Khan had promised to turn Pakistan into. He had vowed to transform his country into a modern secular state. But religious fanaticism is still deeply entrenched in the Pakistani society. Extremists are having a field day. As minorities languish without jobs and their places of worship get destroyed, the Pakistani Supreme Court has come down heavily on the government. At a recent hearing over the desecration of a temple, the court inquired about job quota for minorities. Nearly 30,000 jobs allocated for minorities are lying vacant. The court asked why. Islamabad had no answers to give. Its silence is an admission of guilt. Its setbacks a warning to mend its ways. For all of Imran Khan's bluster, Pakistan cannot afford American sanctions. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.